Coming to you from Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge in Ingalls, Indiana, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. It's Final Third Friday.
Welcome back to Final Third Friday. I'm Rob.
And I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Mike.
We got one of our regulars on the podcast.
Yeah, this is round two for Mike.
Round two for Mike.
Hey,
nice.
I'd like to tell you that you were well received by people, but nobody said anything about it, so I don't have a clue if they liked you or not.
Yeah. No news is good news.
No news is good news. There we go.
Yeah, so we are actually here today celebrating our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do just a little special pairing today. We're pairing the 601 green in the Corona size, mainly because we don't have a lot of time to do this tonight. So we're going to put out a nice smaller cigar.
Yeah.
And we're pairing that with our 3 barrel picks. So the one I'm actually going to be drinking is our backbone pick. It is sitting at 118.2 proof, bourbon finished in sherry, port, and Amaro barrels at 5 years, 9 months.
Cool, and I've got the Final Third inauguration barrel. It's sitting at 110 proof.
Yeah. Actually, it's more like 116 proof, but the dude that labeled it screwed it up. So.
It's close to label.
It's close to label.
Close.
And I have our Final Third Starlight Rye finished in port barrels. This has been aptly called a Midwinter Night's Dram Killer.
Ooh.
105.6 proof, 4 years old.
Nice.
Absolutely delicious. I'm excited for this.
Get it poured out here.
This is... I wish this wasn't just a single barrel that we had, because this one I could legitimately drink every day of my life and just have no issues about it.
It's very, very good.
So I somehow ended up with 4 of those.
Good for you.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Somehow?
I love it. And I ended up
great.
with 2 of these inauguration ones.
So you can put yours up there if you want to get it out of the way there.
Yeah, that's tight.
And I've still got 2 of the inaugurations.
Well, and so this week during our anniversary party, we brought back the last case of this. We've already sold a bottle and a half of it. We're only a day and a half in, so this is going to go pretty quickly. These other 2, we have pretty decent supply of both of those left.
Yeah.
So
this is releasing Friday, March 3rd. Come out either today when this is released or tomorrow if you at least want a chance at being able to have some of it.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't going to last long. We do have another barrel pick coming Friday, the one we've been talking about, Peach Street. Yeah. That will be here Friday.
Hey, you should tell them about the accident that happened with that one.
It's a happy accident.
It's a good accident.
Wait, let's actually get into the cigar
let's
first.
do it. So get a cold draw going here.
I'm gonna cut. I'm using the Zycar XO for this, doing a straight cut since it's the small little guy.
Oh wow!
I'm using the SV with a straight.
That's like raisins and kind of hay for me. Maybe not raisins, maybe more like dates, but it's some kind of a dark fruit.
Yeah, I could see that. I think there's also a like a fruity chocolate component too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can see it, yeah, for sure. It's definitely got a nice cold draw. It's one of those cigars. This is one of my cigars I'll finish the night out with because it's a full-bodied cigar. So this cigar is actually Nicaraguan Oscuro Habano, a wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and filler, full-bodied. You can smoke this after smoking a few cigars. You're still going to get a lot of flavor out of it. So
absolutely.
Let's light her up.
Let's get into the light. Mike's over here with his fancy electric lighter.
Nice.
Don't worry.
For whatever reason, it has an electric ignition, and he still trusts it after burning himself.
Yeah, no palms were burned in the making of this video.
So we
today.
This is releasing on Friday, so if you hear this Friday or Saturday, we're still going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary. So get in here, buy a cigar, or buy an adult beverage. Either way, you're going to get a ticket for a giveaway. We've got 4 awesome baskets set up with value of about $300 to $320 each. Yeah. Some have higher gift cards, some have higher end cutters. There's all kinds of stuff in these baskets with merch and all that. So great giveaways. And then we also, what we're going to do at the very end is if you didn't win one of the 4 baskets, we're going to throw all the tickets in one and do a final drawing. And we've got a package that Scott DeShong, we might as well shout out and start
Scott
drinking.
DeShong, cheers.
He donated some fuel tickets along with a fuel pass, and we've got a sweatshirt and a hat that matches their colors. And basically what we're doing with that is, if you win that package, do a hashtag, picture and post on Instagram with your hat and shirt on at the game, and you'll come in here and get a free drink, and we'll take care of you that way. So,
Heck yeah.
So we'll be doing like free old fashioned stuff like that. So, but we'll definitely take care of you.
That'd be great.
So this one's going to be interesting because we've got
Yeah, we got
Three different
things.
pairings. Yeah.
3 different picks with the same.
So right
Oscuro.
off the light on this cigar, the retro hell is spicy. It is a spicy retro hell. There's that dark kind of chocolatey quality on the palate. A little bit of, I don't know if it's toast or graham, but there's like a sweeter sort of bready quality.
Let's
in
say
there.
more like cinnamon toast.
Cinnamon toast.
Yeah, a little bit of cinnamon toast.
give it to
Really
you.
spiced down Oscuro.
Yeah.
Almost a wheat toast. But then the pepper is nice because you get a blast of pepper, but it fades off pretty quick. So you're not just getting blasted and your eyes are watering. You get that note, but it kind of fades off pretty quick. Although this one does pick up.
I already took a sip of this Starlight, and this thing is just covering my palate with the red fruit notes. So it's really making it more of like a jelly-filled pastry on the palate, and that retrohale is presenting as a little bit spicier after having this rye, but it's really nice and balanced in the experience because it's super desserty on the palate and has quite a bit of spice on the retrohale.
Yeah, what about you, Mike? What are you getting?
So I'm getting a lot of pastry on the inauguration.
Okay.
With the palate, it's more of like a pastry flavor. Heavy pepper with the cigar with the Oscuro.
Yeah.
I think it's really heavy pepper. Man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
With the inauguration, I forgot how good that one was.
It is. Yeah. This one here, the backbone, together, I'm getting a lot more of the sherry and then leaning towards the port notes out of this. And then when you take a puff of the cigar, it brings out almost a chocolatey quality with those 2 fruit notes. So right now it's just a nice dark fruit covered chocolate.
Yeah,
I get some like some dates on the nose.
That's cool. Yeah, you're the only one with an unfinished whiskey in front of you. Yeah,
That's true.
So
I get a heavy date kind of nose on that one.
That's cool.
interesting.
And you'd had this before.
Oh yeah,
I thought you had.
Yeah, it's been 3-4 months since I've visited that, but it's coming back.
Yeah.
That one's aged well. I really enjoy that.
Good.
I really do. I think that was one of the pours that I tried probably one of the first weeks that I came here.
Yeah.
Was the inauguration one.
I believe that. We were selling it pretty hard.
Oh yeah, it was it was one of the recommendations.
Yeah. For good reason though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So something fun happened with Isaiah this week. He got him some new ink.
Got some new ink.
Looking pretty beautiful.
Got a freaking bird, and then I got some hands.
Nice. They look good.
Yeah.
They look really nice.
Solid line work.
Shout out to Eli Drawn at Sunrise Tattoo in Nashville, Tennessee. Dude's the man. Hit him up if you need. He specializes in illustrative traditional. So if you know what that means and that's your style,
Love the traditional.
Yeah.
go for it.
Which you can tell very much. That's what those are. And then his line work is amazing on that.
Yeah.
I'm more of the sit in the seat and just do something guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a progressive guy.
There you go. Yeah. No, I told him, I said, here's what I want. I want a Holy Spirit dove, and I also want the praying hands. And I guess he has a real affinity for the original artist behind those praying hands, and was able to tell me a lot more about the story and all that
Well,
stuff.
it seems like it hit a little different. Like it looks more authentic than some of the ones that I've seen.
It is pretty true to the original, which is kind of cool.
Which is what you wanted.
fantastic.
It was. Yeah. I mean, I fully walked in there because I trust Eli, which is a thing that you should want in your tattoo
100%.
artist.
You have to trust your artist.
I told him, I said, hey, here when I texted him, I said, hey, here's what I want. Here's some reference photos. Just do your thing. Like, just do your thing, make it Eli drawn. And that's what he did, man. And honestly, the Holy Spirit dove, like, haven't had anybody question it for anything else. Maybe because I'm wearing it, but a lot of them end up looking like rock pigeons, you know, and like, nobody really wants that.
No, he wants a pigeon.
Absolutely
art.
fantastic. Also, Nashville was really good to me. Went to Smoker's Abbey there. Got some knuckle sandwich 55s.
There you go.
They're still
Nice.
sitting on
That's
the
it.
shelf. They still had George T. Stagg and Lot B sitting on the counter there. So
How many pours do you have of each?
none, because I wasn't drinking that day because the next day I was gonna be tattooed. So yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotta have
you
that
don't-
good blood.
Yeah, if you're bleeding all over the place, there's no way he's gonna be able to
Can't
pull
have
from-
that
No fun
thin.
for anybody.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Rob's diabetic. He bleed all over the table if he goes and get tattooed. Also, just throwing this out there because it was said when Aladino sponsors this show for real, Rob's gonna get a tramp stamp.
An Aladino trans stamp.
Well, I thought it was the Final Third logo.
Oh, it's a toss up then. It's got to be a toss up.
How about that one?
It's a toss up. It's a toss up between
Maybe-
that.
We didn't say anything about temporary. I got temporary.
Yeah,
so
no,
I can
we-
do that.
What
We
are
might
you
have to
chickening
do this
out?
one.
Somebody's paying for it.
This is it. This is the tramp stamp.
Okay,
That's it.
that's pretty vague.
We got to
Yeah.
we got to do that one, and then maybe there's another one. Wait, here's another one. We
Yeah.
gotta, maybe we'll do this
So
one.
what he has just pulled out. The first one is just the
the
Rob
face.
head with the cigar. The next one is a condensed Final Third logo like we've got
Or-
on the shop.
Rob
Or-
himself.
Oh yeah, in full
Or
color.
in full color,
Yeah.
a Rob tramp stamp.
Yeah,
So we have 3 solid options here.
yeah. You had better hair in that photo.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
I think you did, Rob.
Honestly, just a little bit cut low on that
Look
thing.
at-
I probably had no hair in that
Look
picture.
at this, dude. On the OG references,
That was my hair back then.
you look like you got punk rock hair.
I had
you
a
look
lot of
like
hair.
somebody's mom, man.
I had a
You
lot of
got
hair
mom
back then.
hair.
I had a lot of hair back then.
It's solid. It's a solid hairline. I like it.
It is a good
I can't
hairline.
grow thick
I
hair
can't hate
anymore.
it. I can't hate it. I can't hate it. So I'm getting a little more cranberry on this.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, I hit that with the
'Cause you-
inaugural though. So
Yeah.
the inaugural is it's giving me a little more cranberry with the 601.
I could see that. That inaugural to me, I haven't had it in a little while. The sweetness on it always presented as a more fruity
Yeah.
type of sweetness.
It's heavy
rather
fruit
than-
to me.
rather
right now.
than a dark sweetness like
Stuff that more sweet bourbon.
a brown sugar or something
Yeah.
like that. And the other thing that's distinct in that one to me has always been cinnamon. Like
Yeah.
it seems like every time I open that inaugural barrel, I'm like, yeah, that's what cinnamon in a whiskey tastes like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that it's cinnamon flavored. It's
No.
just a single barrel that has a decently heavy cinnamon note.
No cinnamon whiskeys mentioned.
no.
Yeah, we're not going
Jack
that way.
Fire, Fireball.
Indiana
Pass.
Whiskey Company, cinnamon. You know, when we proof our shit down so much it doesn't taste good, let's throw cinnamon in it and see what happens. Something like that.
Something like that.
Oh, man.
I love this Starlight. I love this.
All three of
Starlight.
these picks were really good. The Peachtree, I think, is going to be great. We've talked about it. The French Lick pick's going to be insane. We got to figure out how we
We
do
haven't
that.
talked much about the French Slick pick
man.
on here.
Got to.
We haven't? Oh, that's right.
No,
'cause that
you
was
got
last
to.
No,
Wednesday
we
I went.
like teased it, but
Yeah.
we didn't really
Well,
say much
Give us some
about
more
it.
insight.
So in June, we're going to be going down doing a pick with Alan Bishop at French Lick. I went down a week ago. Well, actually, a week ago today, and visited with. So we haven't recorded since then.
We
That's
haven't,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Went down and spent some time with Alan. He gave me a tour. The dude, his knowledge is insane. Just hearing all the stories this guy just saying off the top of his head was. I mean, I'm just like, I wish I'd have pushed record
Yeah.
Good thing is he wants to come on the show.
Oh, tight.
And
That'll be good.
And we'll actually be able to have him on here when we do the release or
Yeah.
whatever to
That'd be
talk
great.
about it.
Yeah.
But he is doing some crazy stuff with brandy right now, and whiskey for that matter too. But his entire line, from the Matty Gladdens, the Lee Sinclairs, the Solomon, all those, they're all really good, just regular releases you can get at the store. At the distillery, they have a lot of their own distillery-only releases, which are a little higher proof. Some of them are finished. I brought back an apple brandy that's like 117 proof, finished in tequila barrels for you guys to try. It's really good. I did get to try one that they put in a barrel in 2016 or 2017 that was an apple brandy finished in a tequila barrel, entering the barrel at 139.2.
Oh, man.
He said it's somewhere in the 145 to 152 range right now.
Yeah, it's not proofing down.
And it's delicious. It is
Not
delicious.
where he's at in Indiana, man.
So he's got this one room that he's got set up that however it's set up in the building and everything, it's where all the barrels proof up.
yeah.
He's got another building that they store a lot of them in that'll actually maintain or drop the proof slightly. So a lot of the regular releases go in that one. This is the one where they're playing.
Yeah.
And he is playing with some crazy good stuff. I got to try 2 different hazmats, and both of them were absolutely delicious. And the cool thing is, Alan is such an awesome dude. He loves what we're doing here. He said he's opening up the barrels to us, so we get to pick any of these barrels we want.
I love
and
that.
he's super excited someone wants to pick a brandy barrel. He's never had anybody pick a brandy barrel yet, which I'm floored that no one's ever picked a brandy
Nobody
barrel.
asked?
Well, that's why I like Alan. I think Alan's one of those guys that knows that, it's kind of a suggested thing. Like, it could be a brandy barrel.
Yeah.
It could be like a regular barrel. Like, he knows, like,
And I'm not
he
saying
kind of senses that, like what,
He does.
like what you're like seeking as a barrel for your pick. Like he
Well,
kind of
the other
recognizes
thing is
and that's awesome.
He's just well versed.
He is.
Somebody had told me that he was the guy who helped out Copper and
he's the one that started
He
Butchertown
did the brandy.
Brandy.
With
Yeah.
yeah, Butchertown brandy.
Yeah, which like
I didn't know that until I talked to him.
that's
I'm
like
dang,
that's a big freaking deal.
that's a very,
That's
very
a
big
huge
deal.
It's underplayed.
Yeah.
It's very underplayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
so I'm thinking French Lick must have paid him a lot of money to come away from Copper and Kings.
He started French Lick.
Oh.
He
I
is
didn't know
French
that
Lick.
part. Oh, you know what? He didn't even. That's how humble the dude is. The guy never even said that.
Yeah, so
I
French
just-
Lick Winery was there.
He
but
started
they're
the
a different-
distillery.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. I didn't know that.
He's
It's another
a-
reason to pick him.
I like the guy even more now. He wasn't like humble bragging anything at all. He didn't say a word about that. But their process down there, I mean, when you go through the distillery, it's not like super fancy. It's not going to look like any of these big They're making whiskey.
Yeah.
And
they know what they're doing.
what they're doing. And
They know what they're
everything's
doing.
pot still down there. I mean, they're doing a good job. And I can't
Yeah.
wait to see more and more
Well,
coming
he's
out
not
there.
playing it up, and
No.
that's why I think that Alan and what he's doing with the
See you,
brand,
buddy.
they know that I mean that's what you're gonna get.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's the craziest part about French Lick to me is like they're not creating or riding any hype right now. It's
Right.
just kind of seems like one of more of those if you know sort
Yeah.
of deals where he's making really solid bourbon offerings and amazing brandies.
Well, I'm telling you right now, after tasting through several, I mean, he's out there drilling barrels. We're trying them. We go outside, and it was his birthday, too. The day I was there was
Wow.
his birthday. He came in on his birthday to hang out. I'm like, that's freaking amazing. I gave him a Los Seis Provincia.
As you
As his
should.
birthday.
As you
So
should.
They're bringing out bottles where, like, the 375 is all they've got left of this amazing barrel. We're out there tasting. It was just a really, really good time. And it was 2 of us, or 3 of us out there, and we're just talking notes on cigars and whiskey, and I'm like, that's pretty cool with a guy like him to
Right.
hear his thoughts on it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a great pick. And I mean, this guy doesn't just distill. This guy is actually out there crossbreeding, different items for the whiskeys and the brandies, and he's playing with the fruit. He taps his own maple trees at his house. He said he was going home that day to finish processing his maple syrup. I mean, the guy does it all.
Yeah.
And he still has time to be on all the podcasts and just keep sharing all of his knowledge too. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of you guys out there in the bourbon world know who Alan Bishop is. He's not new, and he's on all the podcasts. The dude's amazing. I can't wait to have him up here.
Yeah, that's great. I'm super looking forward to finally meeting him because his like even him on live streams, like he'd go live on his Instagram all the time, and I just watch him and like. He'd be ranting about something, and I'd be like, "Man, I love this dude.
Oh.
Like, he just is who he is, and doesn't care."
Yeah.
But
he knows,
and he's got such a wide range of things he's into. Like he has another podcast. He has the Distillers podcast and all that. He also has a podcast called "If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything," and it's just like all conspiracy theory, supernatural, and spiritual stuff. And he's like all throwing all this stuff together. I'm like. This guy's fun to listen to, and he's actually really good.
He's
on the
a real
podcast.
Renaissance man.
he makes you think.
He is.
It makes you think.
Yeah,
about a little bit of everything.
He does. So so we're excited to do that one, as you can probably tell. But that one will probably be a fall release. We're doing the pick in June, so that will be our next one after Peach Street, more than likely, unless we get a half barrel somewhere.
We kind of clued into it. Would you like to tell our people about the Peach Street accident?
Yes,
please.
So Peach Street, we've talked about that on here before. That's our next barrel pick coming this Friday. So
today, when this is released,
when this is released, exactly, yeah. So if you're seeing this today, it's here. Well, it should be here
in limited quantities.
When FedEx. Well, we've got 3 cases, so we got 18 bottles until next week, so we're fine.
It's coming.
It's coming. So when we did the tasting of these barrels, they were 117 proof, which. I was under the impression it was
Still
barrel
solid.
proof at the time. It was amazing. You guys both tried
fantastic.
it. It was really
Still
good.
solid.
Well, so Steve is our he's our rep for Indiana Small Batch that actually sells their product for them. I guess we can do another cheers shout out.
Cheers.
All about drinking. So Steve came in and said that the distiller wanted to apologize because the proof didn't come out to where they had said at 117, and my first thought was I was pissed.
You think it's disappointing?
I was thinking
you want to be disappointed.
They accidentally proofed this down to 92, which is what they do with a lot of
And
their
now
stuff
I've
out there.
committed to buy a whole.
It happens.
Oh, I would have pulled the commitment on that in a heartbeat because 92 was good. It was not what we wanted.
You don't know.
No, actually, it came out at 122.4 proof.
That's it.
I'm like, God bless you, son.
Which kind of sounds like they just forgot to proof it down.
Which is even better.
It's amazing.
I can't complain about that.
No.
I mean, I would not complain about that
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
going to be another solid release. That's our highest proof release yet until
based
French
on
Lick
what
hits
the
our-
original Peach Street was
The
at
French Lick.
117. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I can't even imagine what that's going to be at 122.
can't wait.
Like-
So we'll know this week. So if you guys want to try it, it's going to be similarly priced of all of our barrel picks. Now it's not a high dollar bottle at all. So
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
It's also going to be a good way for you to try a new distillery because I don't know anybody that has a Peach Street pick.
there is
I don't
one.
either.
Who's got
I
it?
can't remember where it was, but he brought it in here
Local?
for me to try local. That did a Peach Street, and they just got theirs in.
Was it Noble or Cons?
I don't think it was either one of those.
I
Okay.
figured it was going to be Cons because
I
they
was
do most
thinking
of
maybe
it.
it was Town, but
Oh,
it may
Town
not have been
Fine
Town.
Wines?
I'm not
Could
sure,
be.
but I'll try to find out what that was. I can't remember who it was. That Steve
Either
told
way,
me.
ours is better. So
I figured Cons would have been it.
I tried the pick. He brought it in for us to try. It was really good. Honestly, I still remember ours. Ours is definitely better, I think. But I think we picked the best barrel out of all the ones we got to try.
Yeah.
And we were the first ones to try it in Indiana. So
yeah.
So again, another new distillery coming. I can't wait to have them in here. You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah.
So what are you getting on this Starlight?
Oh man.
I want to know because I've got the inaugural. I don't have the Starlight, so I want to know what you're getting because
So right now,
I love it.
On
I
the
love the
cigar,
Starlight.
like after I've been drinking a little bit on the Starlight, the palate of the Starlight or the palate on the cigar is like chocolatey graham cracker. It almost reminds me of like the chocolate Teddy Grahams.
Yeah.
And then
man.
on the Retro
Yes.
Hill, it's still got some of that pepper, but it's died down a little bit for me.
Sure.
Or maybe it's my first cigar of the day. I could just becoming more accustomed to it.
I love the Teddy Graham on the Starlight. I love that. That's a great.
Well, and even on
That's a
this
great
one, I'm
description.
getting I get a lot of the fruit notes still out of this, but going back to the cigar, I'm getting that kind of a graham note to it as well.
Yeah.
But it's like it's creamy. I mean, it's almost like you want it to be marshmallow, but it's not quite there yet. Still get a little chocolatey. I mean, it's close to a s'more, but it's not marshmallowy.
That's wild.
For me, like going from smoke to sip, smoke or drinking the Starlight Rye and port barrels, it is a super, super sweet and almost as like somebody made a meringue with port somehow.
Oh, wow.
It's like a super
meringue.
thick and creamy.
Okay.
Like distinctly port notes.
Interesting.
And there's almost a brown sugar quality in there as well.
That's
It's
cool.
It's great.
I mean,
it's fantastic.
We say it all the time. If you're not pairing your cigars with something, it doesn't have to be liquor. It can be anything you like to drink.
Liquor.
You're missing.
Hardly knew her.
Almost killed her. But if you're not doing that, you're missing out about half of your experience. Because I mean, you can enjoy a cigar by itself, but when you start
100%.
pairing it, it just changes everything.
So with the inaugural, I'm still getting a lot of fruit, dates, cranberry. I'm getting a lot of way more cranberry than anything else. I get a little bit of cinnamon on the back end, but I'm gonna stick with the cranberry right now.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a new
Like
note.
a bitter tart cranberry, or,
yeah,
or
kinda,
somewhere like the
a
kind
little
of
more
dry-
tart.
Okay.
Way more tart.
Okay.
Way more tart.
Not
Yep.
like a crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. That's a cool.
That is
note.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
So-
tart.
So we did talk about this. So if you're listening to this on Friday, Saturday, we've got food coming in. We're gonna have food all day, until it's gone, and then we're gonna still be doing specials. We've got box discounts. All the Aladino boxes you can buy, you're gonna get 20% off of those, just like a normal event. We got several boxes we're throwing on the cart, selling at a discount as well, of different brands. I'm putting different things out every day. I mean, we've got a Year of the Ox box out there. I know someone's going to grab.
Somebody should. That's a
gotta
good
get it.
freaking deal.
We got some All Saints out there
I'm
right
going
now.
home with it, so
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I might have another one to throw out. We'll see.
Yeah.
Just depends on how quick they sell.
Maybe
but-
there's two then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, 2 for you.
Yeah, two for me.
Yeah.
And by the time this airs, more than likely the Warheads and the Ravens will be gone because we're almost out already.
I smoked them all. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're
we
welcome.
We did put
I
limit
appreciate
2
it.
per customer on them, and everyone's been good about that. But everyone's bought them.
I showed up every day and smoked two. so-
And we still have a few of the little bitty test blends of the Habano Knuckle Sandwich in there, too.
the
And
Habano knuckle sandwich, man.
In that
Can we
test
talk
blend,
about the knuckle sandwich for a second?
dude? That test
Oh, do
blend is fantastic.
it is. It's all the spice.
Man.
All the spice. And
All
I
of
think
it.
I've got, I probably still have 10 or 12 in there.
Yeah.
And, they're like $6.99 each. They're
It's
delicious.
a steal.
They're delicious.
I don't know how else you could beat that.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say, Rob was talking about Rob said if you're not pairing your cigar, like treating it as an experience, like you're kind of missing out. And I will tell you, one thing I found when I was in Nashville this weekend, like every single place sold those freaking Liquid Death, those sparkling waters.
sparkling waters. Yeah.
I tell you what, the mango chainsaw flavor, which is just mango.
yeah.
that's my water.
Yeah, it goes fantastic with most Habanos.
Oh, really?
I hadn't
I-
tried that.
well, mango
I
makes
hadn't
sense.
tried that
Yeah,
yet, but
yeah, I am.
Oh,
I
you
am
like that
telling,
mango
That's my
cream?
jam.
Mango cream beer we have in there.
Yeah, I
that
tell
keeps
you
me
what,
awake.
Yeah, mango chainsaw with the Mil Diaz, fantastic. Mango chainsaw with that Atsuniki, great, man.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, like, if you find like sparkling water flavors like that aren't super acidic, aren't gonna combat anything, you're kind of in luck.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. You say Mel Diaz, so
Yeah.
I had a Mel Diaz with the Koval the other day, and that was super graham, like
Yeah.
really, really.
And he's talking
heavy.
about the Indiana Bourbon Club
Yep.
Koval Rye pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
That rye pick with the Mel Diaz
Yeah.
was insanely heavy on the gram, and like the
Interesting.
toasted marshmallow.
Okay, it makes sense with that Cobalt profile on that. For
Oh,
sure.
it was ridiculous. I didn't even think to like pair that with the Mel Diaz,
Yeah.
and that's
You
going
just
back to the
wanted
same
something
thing.
to drink?
You got to pair it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted something to drink, and I had 2 extra Kovals, so I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna pour this tonight.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
and
I
that's,
had to.
not to beat a dead horse, but that goes right back to the pairing. Koval on its own is
Gotta do
good,
it. You gotta pair it with
but
something.
if you pair it with something, you're right. It
You have to.
intensifies the
and the
experience.
Mildias, like it perfectly,
Good.
perfectly paired that.
Cool.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I would 100% recommend that.
I mean, it's the same thing with pairing a drink with your food. Like,
Yeah.
if
Yep.
if I'm having a super fatty meal, if I'm having like a steak or like pulled pork, something like that, I'm gonna want something that's gonna be able to hold up to it. And the thing that
Pork.
always can for me is some of those higher proof Knob Creeks.
Yeah.
Like I think those kind of peanutty notes, everything like that, goes really well with some char and some smoke.
Oh yeah.
But like if you're eating something lighter, like you could definitely hit some of the finished stuff and it'd be no problem.
Yeah. Well,
With the hickory.
and you said I never thought about doing like a mango sparkling water with it, but I mean it makes sense because if you get some of those fruit notes that are the darker kind of fruit notes, which
Yeah.
I would put mango in, mango, peach are kind of in that
Yeah.
world. They really do go well with cigars.
I think so.
I mean, even like a peach cobbler or any
Yeah.
kind of a
Heavy
dessert like
peach.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of those we've been finding a lot of pear in whiskey lately.
Yeah.
And it's like
Which is
even
crazy.
that goes really
It
nice
is.
with cigars.
Yeah, that's more of like a wine.
Yeah.
The pear, the pineapple.
What were we getting the pear in the other time we were last
Peach
time?
Street.
Peach
it was,
Street.
We called it the
That's
pear
right.
syrup, like
Yeah.
from the
Yep.
canned pears. That's like how the
Which
sweetness
honestly,
presented on that.
Might
That's wild.
might
That's a
pop
wild
even more
pairing.
at 122.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But
a wild pairing.
I will tell you, like, I'm a big sparkling water fan. That mango chainsaw flavor, even though I hate the branding, it's also genius of Liquid Death.
It's all flavor.
It
though.
went really good with everything until I paired it with a Knuckle Sandwich 55. And
That's
that just,
branding aside. Branding aside.
No.
Knuckle
Yeah.
55.
Yeah, the Knuckle Sandwich
That'll hit it.
55 just absolutely annihilated my sparkling water.
I can see that,
It'll do that.
but in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
all I
yeah,
tasted
no,
was
no,
the
no,
Knuckle
not
Sandwich
negative at all.
55. There was no mango there to be found anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you couldn't hit any of the mango at that point.
Yeah.
Like, but that's.
But I,
mean,
do drink a lot of sparkling water with my cigars. I think it's a good palate cleaner and everything like that. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
because that's getting into like the wine territory with
Yeah.
the pear
Yeah.
and like the pear and the pineapple flavors.
Yeah.
That's like the wine.
Which you can find that pineapple flavor more commonly on scotches.
Yeah.
And like the
that Abalor has
Yeah.
a lot
yep,
of that.
I
in
was
it.
gonna say
Yeah.
Avalor with like the middle peat
Yeah.
kind of flavor. That's kind of the middle of the ground.
There's a scotch called Tail of Cake, and it's made to be like it's made to taste like a pineapple upside down cake. Like they blend it for that profile, and it absolutely does. I think it's Glenlivet Tail of Cake. Let me
Glenlivet's real light. Pretty sure it's Speyside.
Let me check real quick.
It's it.
I think the Glenlivet's on the lighter side.
Yeah, Glenlivet reminds me of an Irish without the green apple. Is what I always get out of a Glenlivet.
I can see that.
Some of that more aged Glenlivets are going to.
I hadn't really thought about
towards
that.
Macallan,
I
but
hadn't really thought about it. I don't drink a lot of Glenlivet, so
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of like pairings
Oh,
with that.
Glenmorangie.
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 Yeah. And that stuff. That's the Glenmorangie stuff is more of a. I mean, I get a lot of citrus, like
I
the
just said it
orange
real
citrus.
redneck, and then Rob corrected it. Glenmorangie.
Sorry.
Angie? Who's
Angie.
that?
Angie,
Hardly
nearly
knew
killed
her.
Angie who? Angie Daddy?
Angie Daddy. But yeah, I get a lot more of the orange citruses and a lot of the Glenmorangie stuff. I've got a 18-year, I think they call it very rare, or whatever they call it. But I've got some of that at home, and it's definitely the orange, leaning towards the
I will
orange.
tell you, I got to give another shout out to Scott DeShong.
Or a shout out if you want to do that too.
A shout out?
Scott
Yeah.
DeShawn.
Yeah. To Scott DeShong.
Scott
because
DeShong.
He told me, and it kind of sounded like a promise when he told me, that he has a Highland Park 18 cash strength finished in bourbon barrels. And
So what you're doing is you're calling him out on the show.
I need to see it.
So it's in
I need
prosperity.
to see it.
I would like to
like to sample
yeah,
that.
sample it
I
a
need to
little
see
bit.
that.
Yeah. I
need
think
to
we
see it.
bonded.
I think you bonded. No. Scott's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
He's got a great palate too. And he's got some pretty awesome bottles too. He's honestly the one that turned me on to Copper and King's Butchertown brandy.
Thank you.
Yes. Which again, that's another high proof brandy.
Well, I had a wedding that
is
turned me on
amazing.
to that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I filmed a wedding, and that's I'd never drank anything from Copper and Kings, and I filmed a wedding that was at Copper and Kings,
Yeah.
and oh my god,
Is it a cool space?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's outdoors.
Okay.
They don't have a good indoor.
It's like an
space.
amphitheater sort of area?
Amphitheater. Yep, it's like I don't know. Think 60s, 70s, like sunken living room. Like you have 2 or 3 like concrete steps that go down. You've got like a sunken little. I gotta send you the pictures. I don't know.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like a sunken living room type concrete area.
They're in like the downtown Louisville area, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Franklin Street. Yep.
Okay.
Backside of like the skate park, downtown Louisville area. It's a weird event space,
Yeah.
but it works.
Yeah.
It works. If
Wonder
you
who
want your
makes these
90-year-old
bands.
grandma to
Cigar
fall into the living
rings.
room, oh, it's a weird place.
Yeah.
It is so cool though.
Yeah.
They've got like a little pond,
yeah.
infinity pond, I guess. Like,
Infinity Pond.
yeah,
So the water's just forever.
yeah.
Forever.
Grandma falls into it when she's too drunk. Yeah, it happened.
It did?
Oh yeah,
Did you get it on video?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll send you the
Nice.
clip.
Yeah.
This like 85-year-old woman like just
And you didn't
walked
send
into
it
the lake.
You didn't
Like,
send it into America's Funniest Videos to
I
try to
need
make
to,
some
yeah.
money?
I need to. I need to.
Is AFV still going?
It is. Yeah, Bob
Serious?
Saget's
Oh,
not
yeah.
here, but it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still a thing.
Yeah, shout out to Bob Saget.
Shout out to Bob
Bob.
Saget.
We all know that
You're my hero.
Jeff Gator killed him. Which we won't go into that.
On the podcast that shall not be mentioned.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Is what it is. Oh, man.
Funny.
So,
AFV, man. Hey,
hey, Mr. Salmon.
that is rude.
That is rude.
Rude.
Messing with our gear.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He's just pretending to.
He is.
Yeah. He's an instigator. Yeah, I traded him a couple cigars for a microwave. I'm dead serious.
Dude, I'm telling you, he is the
Does it
master
still work?
trader.
Yeah. Works better than the one I had.
He is the master trader, man. He did a bunch of work on Lisa's car, and he got cigars out of it.
Hey,
He's a cool dude.
He's good for it.
Cool dude.
He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of my family. Like it's from like Southern Indiana. You just wheel and deal with everybody to get done what you need.
Well, I need some landscaping.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's him.
Man,
Yeah. You got to find somebody else. What are you landscaping for? Your freaking dog's going to eat it all.
well, yeah, but it's muddy between the grill and the patio.
You just need to get rock. Just throw some
I
rock.
know, but-
he can't eat the rocks. I actually probably would try.
Probably would try.
What do you mean you can't? The dog eats rocks.
Yeah.
He loves rock.
Yeah.
Loves rocks. Loves sticks. Loves everything. It's crazy.
He just likes to eat.
Just likes to eat.
Yeah.
it.
I guess you don't
As-
feed him enough.
As you can tell,
Feed him a lot.
I am barely, not even into the second third yet. And we've been sitting on this thing for
Hit that second.
35 minutes already. And this thing is a slow burner for a Corona.
Yeah, it is. It
I
surely
was thinking it
is.
was going to go a lot quicker, but maybe
It's not.
It's
It
not.
doesn't. Yeah,
You get
no.
about, I'm imagining you get more than Robusto time out of this. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're at close to 40 minutes at this point,
Yeah.
man. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and one of the things I wanted to say on this one was, again, we're at our 1 year anniversary, and it is amazing to me every time we come in here and we have a crowd coming in here just to relax and hang out and enjoy what we enjoy. We couldn't have done this at all without all of you coming out here. And, those of you listening to the podcast, thank you. I don't know why you're doing it, but we
yeah.
appreciate
Cheers
that.
to you.
Tune
And-
in.
Yes. Yeah, and it's been fun watching the podcast grow and the YouTube channel grow too, but mostly the podcast. I mean, that's where people listen usually. we've had so many customers come in that found the podcast somehow, and then they came in here and checked it out.
Somehow.
I mean, it's really cool, and just want to thank you guys all for doing that.
It's good to know. It really is. It's good to know. From an outside source, it's good to know what you could pair things with.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. Me, personally, I like to know what, what's the cigar of the week?
I mean, and this is our 1 year anniversary. We're absolutely honored that you choose Final Third to be your place to come and relax. We're glad that we could be that for you.
Absolutely.
Serious.
This is it.
Yeah, and I would never in my wildest dreams thought that it would have grown this fast, and we're so excited to be here. We're planning on being here for a very long time, so if you're listening to this and you haven't been out, come out and check us out. Give us a shot. I think you'll find a home here.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you look out here, it looks like a bunch of guys sitting in the living room watching basketball right now on TV. I mean, it's just
and
fun.
ladies.
And ladies. Well, she's not watching the TV though.
Well, it's just Maryland, so nobody cares.
She's staring at us, giving us crap.
Yeah. Other ladies are staring at us. I guess we got stuff going on.
Well, yeah.
So
ladies are paying attention
we
to the
look
bar.
really important, but it's just Maryland.
It's
Nobody
just
cares about Maryland.
No.
Maryland and Ohio State. Nobody cared.
Nobody cares.
I think that's true.
That is
I
kind
think
of
that's true.
Probably true.
And honestly, I don't think anybody out there is watching the game either. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
It's funny. Every time we set this stuff up, people are like, "What are you doing? What are you doing over there?" Like,
Yeah.
You guys have a podcast? That's great. Like,
No. We're just watching the Maryland game.
Yeah.
nah.
We're commentating on the game.
We're doing sports commentating.
Yeah,
Yes,
sports
yes.
commentating.
Yeah, that guy
That's
just
it.
shot the basket and missed.
Yeah. Somebody
All right,
shot the ball at a goal.
And
Whatever.
Frank.
Some guy did the thing.
Go sports ball. Somebody.
So
did the
that
thing.
would be an interesting thing to talk about because Jen has been telling me you've absolutely ruined her for sports. Watching
Why?
live sports.
Why have I ruined her for sports?
Because you sit there commenting on the cameras and everything that's going on.
Okay, so I do that. I do.
Yeah. So tell the people what you do and why you have trouble watching live sports at this point.
I do.
Or maybe it's a hobby.
It's not a hobby. It pays for our water bill, at least.
At least.
Sometimes the groceries.
Okay. So what do you do? Who do you do it for?
I'm a technical director. I work for ESPN. I work for ACC Network. I work for the Pacers. I punch the game. The director tells me what to do. Says take camera one. I take camera one. That's what I do. Doesn't matter the sport, the year. I'm doing softball next week. I'm doing swimming and diving. The following week, I'm doing softball.
And you do a lot down with Louisville.
Yep.
So you're
University
down
of Louisville. I'm doing Ooey Pooey.
Okay, good deal.
So I'm doing Pacers stuff. I'm doing Fever. I'm doing Indy 11. Doing a lot of the sporting events.
Yeah.
What do I do?
That's cool.
Technical director. I sit behind the board. I punch the button.
Punch the button.
Punch the
Control
buttons.
what
In
camera
the right
people are
order.
seeing.
Yeah, I have no control over this. I want everyone to understand I have no control over anything that happens. The director tells me what to do, and I do it.
So
Look,
if a
it's
game
the
you're
wrong
on looks
thing,
terrible,
it's not me.
It's not me.
sounds like you're just covering your butt.
It does.
Well, it's a little bit of that.
A little
Okay.
bit.
It's
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit of me
yeah.
covering my butt.
Now, if it comes out and the game was perfect and the angles were great, that's all him.
Yeah, it's all
That's
mine.
it.
him.
That's
all
it.
mine.
100%.
Yeah.
It's all me. If it looks bad, it wasn't me.
Wasn't you.
I promise. I'm sorry.
So
Sounds like politics.
Tell the people what is bad in the game. Like what could look bad in a game because
Yeah,
I'm not sure
what's
a whole
holding
lot
it
of
back?
people know what
Yeah.
to look for.
a fake out.
Okay.
Oh,
tell them
women's
what that is.
basketball.
Yeah.
Look, they go to pass the ball and you whip pan with the camera.
Yeah. So the camera's following this.
Yeah,
That's
and
fine.
they whip to the ball.
Yeah.
And they don't pass it. Well, you just faked everyone out.
Yeah. You faked out everybody sitting on their couch.
Literally everyone.
Yeah.
Which everybody has seen that happen in football, where you got the quarterback that has an amazing
Yeah, and he
sneak,
goes to throw it and then he holds the
he
ball.
pulls it back, and they follow the ball down the field when the ball doesn't go down the field.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fake.
Yep.
So
Don't zoom. Don't zoom. Don't pan. Drives me nuts.
Trigger.
so
This is a trigger.
so they're juking people out on the field, but also juking out the
They're
camera
juking
guys.
the camera operator.
And how are there camera operators that can avoid this?
There are.
Yeah.
100%.
Is it you?
No.
No, it's not you.
It's not me.
Mike.
It's not me.
He
It's-
doesn't.
It's Greg Kalen.
Okay. Who's
Oh.
that?
Call him out. Call him out.
100%. Greg Kalen.
Cheers to you,
Cheers.
Greg.
Cheers to you, Greg Kalen.
You'll never listen to this, but thank you.
I don't know who you are.
He will not. Greg Kalen will not listen to this. Cheers to you, Greg Kalen, the best camera one operator. He will not juke with a pass.
Yeah.
You see these passes, it won't happen. Pacers are terrible. Purdue, terrible.
They're just psyching out all of the people watching at home the entire
Well, they're
game.
they're psyching out the camera crew.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking like the passes on the court. I'm not knocking the play.
Yeah.
They're doing the plays. Like that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
They're supposed to do that. They're supposed to fake you out.
As a camera guy, are you hearing the plays?
Well, in my head, I am.
No. So you don't have any communication with the people on the field as the camera guy.
Field, no.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Okay.
It's the director.
Yeah.
You're hearing that. You're seeing it. You're seeing it before it happened.
Does the director know what's going on?
He should.
He anticipates.
He anticipates.
He anticipates that pass.
What if he's drunk?
Well, he celebrated too early. That wasn't a 2-point win.
Have there been instances where your director's been hammered? Jen said no comment,
No
so
comment.
we'll leave it at that. Get
No
something
comment.
out.
Yes.
No comment.
No comment.
Yes.
But yes.
But yes. We all
I
have
mean-
our days.
Where do you end up on that? Where do you end up on that point?
Oh.
ACC Network. I love you.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, point the hat down. Oh,
Yeah,
it's not there
yeah.
either. No.
Keep paying my bills.
They're not
No,
listening to
it's-
this either.
it's-
It's all good.
It's the same thing. Like we're hosting the first round of the men's basketball tournament,
Okay.
and it's anticipatory. Like you have to anticipate what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna fake that ball pass,
You have to anticipate them faking it.
you know they're not going to.
Yeah.
You know they're not going to. As a camera operator,
But you sitting
know
there
they're not going to.
watching the game through a camera behind a screen, like you're like twice removed from this thing. By the time you're,
More like 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're thrice removed from that.
okay, so
Thrice
you're thrice
removed.
removed from this game. How in the world are you going to anticipate that?
We got
Oh,
our-
you
we
just
got our
have to.
bottles.
It's just something you have to know. You have to recognize what they're going to do,
Yeah.
and that's
so
what happens.
Does it
Come on.
help the camera operators to know the game in that way?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come back here
You
and just
So
like.
can't-
are these like
you
diehard
can't
sports
stick-
fan that's running the cameras, or is this like
Oh yeah, no.
nerdy artsy
They-
camera dudes that couldn't find a job
Nope,
otherwhere?
Not artsy.
Yeah.
Not artsy at all. They have to know the sport. You can't put a baseball person on game camera and expect them to know what is going to happen. 100%.
Yeah.
It's something different.
So how did you train for this? Is there like an apprenticeship or like
Trial and error. No, yeah, trial and error.
they just
My-
throw you on?
Yep,
Don't
my-
pay you as much. Say good luck.
My director was like, "Oh, you're going to do this today." I'm like, "Well,
I guess.
fuck, I don't know what that means, but
yeah.
I'm there, man."
Sounds
Like,
good. You better
yeah.
tell me.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. My director, when I TD and he's telling me to go to camera 2, he's sitting here and he's doing this. He's not saying words.
So he's doing bunny ears with
He's
his
doing
fingers.
bunny ears. Bunny
Yeah.
ears. That's it. That's camera 2. That's it. When he's doing this, that's spot box.
I don't
That
even
means
know
that's
what
big
that motion
score.
is.
That's big score.
just like he's following writing
Right.
in the air.
Yeah, that's it. That's this.
Yeah. Huh.
That means that you need to go. We're
So,
going
like-
to commercial, and this is the big score. That's it.
So you have to know, like, you have to have
What
a
he's
relationship
thinking.
with your director.
You have to anticipate.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's kind of like being in a band and trying to follow where your leader's going.
Exactly.
And like you only know that by being with them for a long time
Yeah.
and having that relationship.
It's the relationship.
Yeah.
It's 100% the relationship. You have to know what this means. You got to know what this means.
Yeah.
This is locator. Jay, no, this is number 90. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, I would.
That's it.
I'd be completely lost. I'd be like, "You sure?"
You sure?
I would be second guessing everything.
That's 9 years of training.
So it
See you
was
guys.
just kind of a fake it till you make
Thank
it
you.
thing for you.
You got it, buddy.
I feel like that's how most jobs are, though.
It is.
Yeah,
But that's how most pairings are.
I suppose.
I could see that. I could see most pairings as fake it till you make it.
Could be. I don't know about faking it, but most of the time we're
It's recognition, though.
okay.
It's
yeah.
recognition of like thought, sight, smell, taste.
Yeah.
You have to not necessarily fake it. I say that with a grain of salt. Take
Yeah.
it with a grain of salt.
Okay. It's
Take
been
it with a
taken,
grain of salt.
Mike. It's been taken.
You you take that as it's the power of suggestion.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
The power of suggestion is very real in tasting.
100%.
Because I can sit here and tell you you're going to get celery, and you're going to go,
right.
oh,
But you
I
know,
can kinda see
found
that, yeah.
I
you
found
know that we're tasting 3 different bourbons with the same cigar.
Yeah.
We could taste the same thing, but you could suggest that
Yeah.
with this bourbon.
Yeah.
Well, I got a different bourbon than you do.
Yeah.
Well, we have the same Oscuro
Yeah.
with the 601.
And the cigar will pull similar notes out of different
Sure.
bourbons.
I
but
will
it's
tell
gonna
you
change it
though,
up.
most flavor notes, I'm like, oh yeah, I could kind of see that. I don't agree with it, but I could see it. But there are some guys out there that you're just like,
What the hell?
are you sure you drank the same thing I
Yeah.
did? Like, I'm not even sure you.
I got grapefruit. Yeah, no. No, you didn't.
I know one guy we've had on here before that I'm like, really, dude? Is that what you're getting at?
Thanks, Will.
No, it's not Will.
Hey, you leave him out of this.
It's not Will. It's not Will.
I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
Will.
But there are some people that have just a different memory of flavors that I do, and it totally throws me off. But
Well, and I will say, Rob's whiskey palate has been developing. He used to say brown sugar and caramel for everything.
I used to get brown sugar and caramel a lot, especially caramel.
Yeah, I know.
I love caramel though. That's
Well,
why. That's
well,
why though.
yeah.
I love caramel, and it's like
so
one
you
of
were
those things.
like, I like
Caramel's
this,
a good
so it must
identifier,
be
though.
caramel.
Must have
It
caramel.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
caramel's a good identifier.
Hey,
It-
that Japanese whiskey was a
It
caramel
was
bomb.
not, dude. It was
Bomb.
not. That was the most floral thing I think I've ever. Like that was a perfumey Japanese whiskey.
So it's like if you throw floral on top of a caramel,
No.
and eat it.
There was no
It was all
caramel.
caramel.
But
Absolutely not.
I feel like caramel is in everything. The caramel note and the caramel
it
flavor
can be in a lot of things.
can
yeah.
be. It's very profound.
when
It's
when I
very
am
profound.
thinking caramel, I'm thinking like Werther's original. That like
Nah.
that caramelized sugar note, kind of that buttery quality. Like
I'm thinking more of like the chewy caramels, the really thick, rich, buttery, not buttery, but milky kind of caramels.
buttery.
No citrus whatsoever.
Eh,
We still haven't told
but
that story.
I still think
Probably
that's
shouldn't.
a prevalent
Probably shouldn't.
taste. A lot
Oh.
of people lean towards caramel.
I think so.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bourbons, especially in that heritage distilling world, that do lean towards some of those darker sugar notes, like
Yeah.
your molasses, like your brown sugar, like your caramel. But a lot of the stuff we bring in here that leans more crafty, it's like typically you find more of a fruity, more confectionery sugar. I
Sure.
will say the one heritage distillery that doesn't typically get those dark sweetness notes is turkey.
Yeah.
I have yet to find a turkey that had like a rich brown sugar on it, like you do with a lot of Heaven Hill stuff.
Yeah.
Heaven Hill, you
Some
you
of the
can pick-
Buffalo Trace stuff, same
Yeah,
way.
you
Yeah.
can pick those bottles up and be like, oh man, this is like
can identify
German
it.
roasted pecans. Like that is, it's a darker sweetness, and
Yeah.
I think it's just difference in mash bills
It's the
and
dark
also in
brown
process.
sugar.
Yeah.
It's really heavy into the fruit.
Well, and doesn't Turkey they use a lot of higher rye content in a lot of their mash bills, don't they?
It's the high rye and the high content that I think leads
knocks
towards
down some of that sweetness.
some
yeah.
of the sweetness.
Yeah.
And a lot of that more fruity, almost floral stuff comes from high malted barley mash bill.
Which I think, when I think of really heavy floral, I think of something like Four Roses. A lot of their stuff to me is just over floral, and I don't like it.
But you're talking about their
Fruity
typical
floral.
Yeah, I
releases.
never really got
Yeah.
into that.
But those single barrel barrel proofs do still have some of those floral qualities, but it's like you took brown sugar and threw it on a freaking rose, man. Like,
Yeah. OESK.
OESK.
Yeah.
I think the OESK was.
That's still my favorite of all time. Any of the Four Roses ever I've tried.
Are you sad that you didn't get one for yourself?
I know I bought a bottle and bought it for Will.
But you didn't think you liked Four Roses, and then I cracked it later
and
that
then you got
day.
that one.
That was good.
And,
That was one that
Nah.
he said that he didn't like.
No, the
No, he
OESK
loved-
is the one I love.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was some other ones I wasn't a fan of, but in all honesty, I mean, bourbon's meant to be shared. If you find a bottle a buddy really wants, even if you love it, give it to your buddy. I mean, come on,
Share
man.
it. Gotta share.
There's
Sharing
more
is
bourbon
caring.
out there.
There's
Sharing
a
is
whole
caring.
lot more bourbon out there.
I have been seeing a lot of posts of people finding Stag 18 out there,
I have seen that.
and we did
18?
try it. Yeah,
18's a
yeah. Was
really
that Will
good
that
batch.
brought us that sample?
Yes.
Yeah,
Will brought the most recent one.
yeah. That's the 18.
Yeah.
Is the most recent. And
Yeah.
it was good, but I've seen a lot of people finding bottles just like randomly at liquor stores lately. I'm like,
Well,
hopefully we're gonna see more of that.
I think that the whole Johnson Brothers thing is kind of messed up where the allocation's going. I still think it's definitely allocated because I know places
Oh, it's 100%
that
allocated.
are having trouble getting just Green Label Buffalo Trace, and like you used to be able to walk into CVS and find that all the time.
I will say, and let's go ahead and get into a beef. Why not?
I might as well.
The
We got
one
time.
thing, like when they were with RNDC, you could still get on the website and find all these products, and some of it would say subject to availability, all that shit, and you could at least try to get it, and you might get one opened up. Johnson Brothers, their website, the only thing that comes up on Buffalo Trace or Sazerac products is freaking Fireball and Wheatley, and I'm like,
So sad.
that's so. And again, this is not on Johnson Brothers. This is 100% on Sazerac. They're the ones telling them what to do.
Oh yeah.
But I don't even see this stuff to even hopefully get a bottle at
But
this point.
and the sad part of it is Sazerac, like when they were basically throwing RNDC down the gutter, they were like, "Oh, this allocation is all on them." Like that was their deal. It's the same thing with Johnson Brothers now.
Yeah, they're
Like-
getting slammed too on it, and it's not all them.
The other
But I
thing
think
is
Johnson Brothers is way further along than R&DC though. Like I think Johnson Brothers has more pull than R&DC does.
no,
I don't think so. I
No.
think it's
Really?
less,
RNDC is a national brand, and Johnson is regional.
more regional. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the
Maybe that's
reason
just a
why,
personal thing, then.
And that's the thing. You hear on both sides of it, and you hear both sides is pointing fingers to the other side, saying they're the ones that screwed up on the whole RNDC.
I guess it's just
deal.
more of what you've been able to get.
Yeah, I think what they did was they went to Johnson Brothers because I felt like they had more. They felt like they had more control.
well,
That's kinda what
But
I-
we're talking as
actually
like
what
a retail
happened-
storefront.
What did happen with RNDC is RNDC dropped Sazerac after Sazerac did not agree to their certain percentage. Like it sounds,
That was the thing, though.
Sounds like they were
Like-
upping their percentage of profit across the board. We're gonna I mean, it's been a lot of inflation. Whatever, kind of understand it, but I think they were gonna go from 10 to 15% or something like that. And Sazerac wasn't having it. Of course, Sazerac's one of the biggest portfolios in the RNDC catalog.
Yeah,
But
So,
all
like,
of the
they have
other
that
R&DC brands couldn't do that. Like all of the other ones couldn't say we can't do that.
Well,
No.
the bottom line is Sazerac can go to any distributor and say, "This is what we
And
want." They're either
everyone
gonna
else
say
would
yes
take
or
it.
no.
Yeah.
right.
move on. Yeah.
Everyone else would give them an ultimatum,
And,
and everyone else would take it.
And Johnson Brothers took it. And honestly, they're probably better off as a company for it.
I'm sure they're killing
But,
it now.
but
with
you
them.
feel bad for little
They
brands that are
capitalized.
with RNDC, like Starlight. Like they just had all of their distribution dues. I don't know what it is. It's a percentage off the total that they're not getting. Like, but they just had it raised. And
Yeah.
what do you do with that?
Well, And that, the other thing is when we're ordering, a lot of stuff you just do from websites. If the distributor has a website, some of them don't, and that's actually fine because I can just text people to find out that stuff. But with like RNDC, if I'm like, Lisa and Tam make those blackberry amaretto sours with the blackberry whiskey from Starlight.
Yeah.
You can't look up Starlight Distillery blackberry whiskey and find it on their website. You have to go through the whole Huber winery thing to find it.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to find unless you know their game. Is like, so how many bars would actually pull in more Starlight product if they could find it on the freaking website?
Well, it's kind of the
none.
same thought as like shadow banning on Facebook. It kind of feels like that's what RNDC has done.
Honestly,
with
I feel
brands
like it's
Starlight.
I feel like it's more of the data processor that entered the stuff in on the website had no freaking clue, and they're not having any direction on how to put things in.
It's an algorithm.
It's
Starlight-
the algorithm from the consumer, though. Like they're
No.
they're giving
I'm just
you
talking
the
about like
ultimatum.
search engines on websites. It should be easy to type in Starlight, and everything from that distiller should pop
My
up.
other qualm with them is last year they released a small batch double oaked, which we never saw, we never could get. They also released a small batch bourbon and VDN barrels. Mm-hmm.
And the VDN was great.
We couldn't get it.
Even texting the rep at the time, he didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it for me.
Their algorithm is
giant
broken.
distributors are not doing these
So
smaller
that
brands
tells
any
me
favors.
one of two things. One, it could be only one group, like Meyer, for example.
Which Meyer got a ton of it.
Maybe
Got a ton of it.
that was the whole point, was they were just going to release it all to Meyer and screw everybody else. Either that, or they're sitting on a shit ton of product that no one can get because they don't even know they have it in their warehouse. And either way, it's not good.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not good.
Well, they don't know what it is either.
Well, and I can't imagine how much product they have sitting in their warehouse, so they have no idea what they have. And that's
with Meyer, Kroger,
they'll
you
get what
know,
they want.
Elite,
Yeah.
like they'll get what they think is the best, and that's
Yeah.
It's just hard, man.
yeah.
Like with larger distributors, they're not doing any repping for you. They are like RNDC.
They're shadow branding.
I think RNDC is really taking advantage of the 3-tier system.
No, I was talking to her.
And it's
He's cashing out.
RNDC is definitely
Sorry.
taking advantage of the 3-tier system. Like by law, it's required to go from distillery distributor to retail or on premise.
Right.
Like those, that's the only way it goes, and the only way there's an option is right there at the end. Like unless you're in a state like Indiana that can distribute straight from the liquor store, but they can't distribute from the distillery, but they can't distribute to a liquor store or an on-premise location like here,
Right.
which is like all your bars and restaurants and all that stuff. They can just put it into your hands so you can leave. But if you're in Kentucky, Buffalo Trace has to buy all their product back
Yeah.
to
Which
put
is
it in
insane.
their gift shop. So
They have
it's
to
not
buy
even,
it back to resell it again.
Yeah, it's
So
not
they
even
make
like
a product, they make a $50 bottle, sell it to the distributor. The distributor sells them back to them for $60, and you pay $75 because now they had to double mark it up for you.
yeah.
Insane. Makes no
Which-
sense at all.
You should be able to just walk it from the bottling line out onto the shelf.
You should.
You can't.
But every
can't.
state's different, and the laws are different, and that's why it's such a stupid game in this country.
Kentucky is working on lighting up on that, but it's still not great.
It's
And-
few and far between.
It is.
It's very few and far between.
And it's still insane that there's that many distilleries in Kentucky that keep playing the game. It kills me that they don't move across state lines more. I mean, they're starting to do that now with rick houses.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace has how many rick houses now in southern Indiana?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And it's like because they don't have to pay that.
Well, they started
that
reaching
There's
out.
no there's no resting
There's no
barrel
resting-
tax
Yeah.
in Indiana.
I mean, that's another thing. In Kentucky, every year you have barrels resting in a rick house. You're paying taxes every year. So
Yeah.
if you're wanting to put out a 10 or 12 year whiskey, you're paying 12 times the taxes. So you wonder why that bottle now is $150. Well, they had to pay taxes every year on it.
That's it.
And that's Buffalo Trace moving to Indiana. They may throw some 8, 10, 12-year stuff out that they don't have to price it up so high now because they don't have taxes. They probably will. They'll just make more profit. But
Yeah.
they don't have to now. So
The other thing is I keep seeing articles floating around about Buffalo Trace building a new masher, a bunch of new fermenters, and a new column still, and
They're
everyone's like,
branching out.
"Oh, it's gonna make it so much easier to get." Yeah, in 12 years,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's going to take some
in
time.
12 years, by the time the bourbon boom is done and everyone's moved on to tequila, you'll be able to get what you want again.
Yeah. That's,
We were talking about that a little bit this last week too, which is another rambling story here.
Yeah.
But with tequila, I've been hearing, tequila's on the next boom for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is. I really feel like we're probably getting to the point where now people are starting to think more about gins and brandies and things that are different. And the tequila lover is going to get tequila.
Yeah.
I don't think that demographic's going to grow as much as what they keep blowing. I feel like
I
that's
think
the
it is
tequila-
across the cocktail world. I don't
be.
know a lot of people that are seeking out neat pours of tequila like they are
I wouldn't.
whiskey. Yeah.
or brandy for that
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Rob, you got to be getting into the final third.
I am, yes. And honestly, it's getting more of the roasty notes. I'm getting a lot of the black pepper on the retrohale. But with the whiskey, it just continues to bring out all the sweet fruit.
Pairing
notes
with the
in it.
backbone. Okay.
The one thing about this, the backbone, when you sip on it by itself,
That's
you
red
can take
pepper on the retrohale.
It is. It is red. You're right. Red, not black. Yeah. In this, if you're drinking this pour by itself, or if you're drinking it with a Habano, you can actually take a sip and you're going to get sherry at some point. Another sip, you're going to get pour, and then on down to you're going to taste the Amaro in it. I'm not getting any Amaro in this. It's all the sherry and port kind of blending to just a dark red fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, right now on this cigar for me, it is like a roasted chocolate Teddy Graham, like on the palate of this cigar for me. On the retrohale, it's red pepper and it is spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Back
like
to the
cayenne
palate on the
pepper.
whiskey, it's bringing out so much sweetness and so much creaminess that's not inherently in this.
Yeah.
In-
Are you still
in this
getting any
Starlight.
rye out of your whiskey at all, or is it just all the sweet?
No, I haven't at all
Yeah.
this entire time.
Okay.
Like it's still balanced, but it's not like it doesn't drink like a rye.
Yeah.
You know me. I drink spicy rye. So like this does not drink that way.
That
this
one
is
never. That
this
one
is-
never did though. That one
No, no,
really
no,
never
uh-uh.
did drink like a
Yeah.
rye.
This is
Some-
an everyday man's rye.
is.
Oh, yeah.
And even a bourbon lover would like this rye for sure.
I'm getting more medicinal red pepper. I'm getting a lot more medicinal flavoring.
On the cigar?
Yep.
Yeah.
On the 601 with the inaugural. It's way more medicinal than what it was when we started.
Yeah. So
I never would have
describe
thought
those
that it
sort
would
of
have finished it that
flavors
way.
to the people, because medicinal can be an off-putting thing until
to-
you
to the
describe-
people.
for the people
For
the people.
science.
for science.
Oh yeah,
Man.
science. Cheers to science.
Cheers to science.
Mike doesn't even
science is
have
the
anything in his
best.
glass anymore.
Oh dang.
That's rude. So,
Well,
are you talking like it's losing sweetness as you're going on?
no,
or-
I don't think it's losing sweetness. I think it's retaining the sweetness
Okay.
along with more of like the. It's not losing sweetness.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That inaugural barrel with the 601 Oscuro,
Yeah.
it stays sweet like brown sugar graham
Yeah.
with a little bit of black pepper.
Yeah.
The retro is still hitting.
It's just
like,
growing
red
in
pepper.
intensity across the palate.
It
Okay.
is. It's developing so well in the final third.
Yeah.
That man, I don't even know.
Good.
This
Cool,
is
man.
this is one that I would probably. That's an everyday.
Yeah.
The
601 green?
Oscuro, yeah,
Yeah.
the green Oscuro is.
I don't smoke these often enough. Like I
smoke a
this
lot of them.
cigar is
Well, I don't either,
perfect
but I think
tonight.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some would say it's stellar.
Ooh.
You know what? I could say it's stellar.
It's stellar.
Stellar.
Cheers to that.
Drink.
Cheers to Cellar.
Cheers. I'm out.
The problem is,
Oh,
there's
cheers.
nothing in my glass.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. So again, if you're interested, she is. Oh, she's not driving. All right. So we'll be sitting here. But yeah. So if you're interested in these barrel picks, this one I would say get out here in the next couple weeks. It's going to be gone.
Yeah.
That one, we still have several cases, or at least a few cases of that left.
Uh-huh.
That one's going to be here for a little while. We got a lot of this left still. You're going to be able to get this for a while. And then when
Inaugural.
Peachtree gets here, we're going to have a lot of Peachtree.
So he said inaugural barrel is going to be out this week. Starlight, because you had just pointed to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For the people on here. Starlight, we're running lower on.
Lower,
Still stick around.
we can still have live.
Probably another
left.
month or two. You'll
At
find
least,
it.
yeah.
And then Backbone will be around for the
For a
foreseeable
few months.
future.
Yeah.
Future right now.
Yeah. And then Peachtree, we'll have that for probably quite a while because we got that one's going to be the one we have the most bottles of any release yet. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, again, guys, thanks again for listening in. You can follow me on Instagram at Final Third Cigar.
Both are Visuals LLC. You can follow Gus. Gus Lee.
Okay. And you can find me on Instagram at the Whiskey Pastor.
And you can find all three of us drinking heavily at Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge.
That you can.
All right. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Cheers.
to 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year, baby. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here's the 1 year.